Hello, I'm Hal Lublin.
And I'm Mark Gagliardi.
Since the dawn of humanity, one issue has gone unsettled. With the fate of the world in the balance, we're here to settle, once and for all.
Best fruity Halloween candy.
That's right. Don't worry, everyone. We got this.
Podcasts should have a theme song. Podcasts should not have a theme song. Yes, they should. No, they shouldn't. They sound good. Yeah, but people are just going to skip past it. You know what? You're right. We got this.
Best fruity Halloween candy.
Ooh, Hal, you know what that wolf howl means?
It means they're wolves.
Well, technically, yes, but it also means it's Halloween season again.
Oh, the spookiest time where I count the hours, the precious moments and seconds until midnight when it becomes November 1st and I can play all of my holiday music.
Ooh, yeah.
I had a conversation with your girlfriend about this, by the way.
You did. She told me. Because I was with her when we took that picture at Lowe's of their Christmas display, which was already up. Then we went to Home Depot and theirs was even bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, they're already ready with all the post-Halloween holiday stuff. As you can see, my apartment, we have just decorated. The one thing we added today, the fog machine. I love having a fog machine in my home. Hal, you have, especially because it's a teeny little living room, a little square. Yeah. And so it just fills up so fast. It's delightful.
You have a jug of fog juice? You need a juice to run in there.
Oh, yeah. I have a jug of fog juice. I think it's fog juice. It is a copper jug with 3 X's on the side. They said it was fog juice. It would make you foggy. So sure. I don't know. The guy with the neck beard seemed all about it.
Hey, come here. You want some fog juice? I got fog juice for you. Here, pull a cork out of here and pour this in your mouth. You be fogged up for days.
Oh, goodness. Oh, gosh. Wow. Oh, this is from Home Depot. This is chemicals.
Fog machines, fog juice, fog hat.
Hal, we're not here to talk about fog machines.
Thank goodness.
But I do want to, before we go, I do want to ask you if you've decorated for Halloween yet.
We have a bin in our garage that has the fall stuff, which includes like a couple pumpkins. Maybe there's a scarecrow in there somewhere. Has not made it out of the garage yet. It also has all of our holiday stuff, so it might need to just come up and live up there. Not yet. Maybe this weekend. Who knows?
Do you have enough Halloween decorations, or do you need to take some of your other holiday decorations and turn them into like spooky versions of themselves? Like, ooh, it's a ghost reindeer. Just mix them all together, man. Go full Tim Burton.
This is the spirit of a box of ornaments. From long ago, they call from beyond the grave of Christmas past.
All right. Well, you let me know when I can come over and help you decorate. We'll just peel grapes for an afternoon, cook some spaghetti, put them in a bowl, cover the bowl with a black shroud so you can't see what you're sticking your hand in.
Buy a whole cow tongue from a butcher and then have that sitting in there and make people. We did that at I've talked about thing?
You did that?
We did that at Abernathy Friends School.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that was part of it. Like, and you would be like, oh, I'm just touching a tongue at this point. I get the witch's hair. I get the eyeballs. Why am I touching a tongue? Why is there a gigantic tongue in here?
Wait, which one's the witch's hair?
The spaghetti. It's witch's hair.
The spaghetti's witch's hair?
Yeah.
We always thought it was like guts, like worms and guts and things.
Either it can be anything.
Now I'm picturing a witch who has spaghetti for hair, and that's all I can think about now.
Do you remember when Lady and the Tramp ate all that witch's hair off of her head, and they shared the last strand together and they kissed? It was so sweet.
Oh, it was a really, really cute moment in that movie. Hal, here's what I'm excited about, my friend. We are talking about fruity candies. We've talked about best Halloween candy before, years ago, famously with John Hodgman on the show. And this time we are looking specifically at fruity Halloween candies. And 2 things are true, Hal Lublin.
Yes.
There are 16 of them. And being candy, they are all sweet. So I think you know what that means.
Are we doing a bracket?
It's bracket season again.
I'm excited to see what 16 you chose, because certainly there are more than 16.
There are more than 16, but there are, We'll throw some honorable mentions in and see if they can come in as wild cards later if they're not on this list.
All right, let's take a step back. We did talk about Halloween candy with John Hodgman in 2015, all the way back.
Wow.
At a live show, one of our first live shows. And we immediately got rid of all fruit flavored candy or fruity candy, like just out of hand, going, there's no way it will win this. So I'm glad that these candies, which I enjoy very much, now have their day. And let's pretend it's Selection Sunday. For those of you who are sports fans, you know what that means. We reveal in an expedient manner, not too big a meal, an amuse-bouche of the 16.
I will give you an amuse-bouche of the Sweet 16. And by amuse-bouche, I mean I will quickly give you all 16. We are starting out in the soft right. That's right, the soft right, all soft candies. Our first bracket is Starburst versus Fruit Tootsie Rolls, Laffy Taffy versus Airheads. In the south right, okay, this is already falling apart. Let's go.
Yeah,
Northeast.
What a nightmare.
Northeast, Starburst versus Fruit Tootsies, Laffy Taffy versus Airheads. Southeast, we've got Sour Patch Kids versus Dots and Haribo Gold Bears versus Twizzlers/Red Vines. I'm sure that will be another brief conversation. That's the soft right. On the hard left, we've got our first matchup in the Northwest. We've got Jolly Ranchers versus Blow Pops. Then we've got Runts versus Nerds. And in the Southwest, we've got Skittles versus Spree and Bottle Caps versus Smarties. Is there any candy that you think needs to get swapped out for something else that you may have beloved from your childhood that did not show up on this list?
There are candies missing here, Mark. Thankfully, I'm here to help.
What is missing?
Number one. Mike and Ike's. Classic
We're putting Mike and Ike's?
candy.
All right. What do you want to remove to put Mike and Ike's on? What's getting kicked out of this Sweet 16?
We can get rid of the fruit flavored Tootsie Rolls. That's garbage.
Right. How dare you? How dare you?
Also, here are two other ones, and you tell me what you want to replace. I'll give you two more, and then I'll give you two more. All right, here are two more. One is Swedish Fish, which not only comes in the red cherry, but there are also lemon, orange, and a spearmint, but sometimes it's lime.
All right. You know what? I like Swedish Fish marginally, but not all that much. So I'm going to replace them with a number 4 seed. We're going to get rid of Blow Pops and replace those with Swedish Fish.
Good. All right. Everybody's favorite candy aliens, Sour Patch Kids, are fruit flavored. Blue raspberry, lemon, orange, cherry, and then whatever the green one is.
Yeah.
Very good.
Did you not hear that Sour Patch Kids is already battling Dots?
I didn't, because I have a very short attention span. And also I was thinking about, oh, wait, there's some missing from here. Do we have just the basics of like jelly beans? Are jelly beans in here and I missed it?
Jelly beans are not in here. Would we go Jelly Bellies specifically?
Here's my thing with Jelly Bellies. They're just fine. I think they hang their hat on, rightly so, weird flavors. Like they do buttered popcorn, nobody else does.
Sure.
So they cornered the market on that stuff. I think for a classic fruit flavored, I would rather have like Brock's jelly beans that are like a good size. That's what I would pick personally if I were doing fruit flavored candies. But I get that there's a huge Jelly Belly audience out there. So
I would be
candy boogers and.
You know what? Just avoid those, because I will say for me, the Jelly Belly is vastly superior to a Brock's jelly bean, simply because of the volume of flavor that they pack into different jelly beans. Brock's jelly beans just taste like sugar to me. With the hint of the big 5 American fruit flavors: strawberry, cherry, lemon, lime, and orange.
Give me a hint. Oh, speaking of 5 flavors, Lifesavers? Yeah. Is that kind of a candy, or is that more of a mint?
Lifesaver. Who's giving Lifesavers on Halloween?
Who's giving pennies out, Mark? They're out there. There's some bad people. And I mentioned to you in text, so I feel like I should bring it up here. Not because I'm advocating for it, because I'm not.
Sure.
But Chuckles. Chuckles is, you've never heard of it. I like that you were like, what in the Acela corridor is that? Which it's a great way of saying that was only in your city. But I feel like Chuckles is one of those like forgotten, maybe from the 50s or 60s was its heyday candies. Ken Plume. Have you had Chuckles before? Yes or no? You can use your voice or you can use text, whatever you're most comfortable with. He knows them. Yes. That
and
is
has
two
had
people-
chuckles.
Yeah, okay, so these are an actual thing. They are
I believed you.
garbage. They're garbage. They're like the softest jelly, just low grade, low quality candy. They're very
Yeah.
bad. Yeah, gumdrops, which are also a very good sort of fruit flavored candy.
Yeah.
They're the better version. It's like they're these like loose. I won't use the terms I used to you in text, but it is the perfect way to impart the consistency of these garbage candies.
And also mentioning the looseness of them. Let's talk about loose. Let's talk about loose candies, because one thing I think I want out of my Halloween candy is a sealed package. So gumdrops, I've never seen, aside from Dots, which we have on this list. The only time I've seen gumdrops is if they're like in a little baggie with a jack-o'-lantern twist tie, which I appreciate, but come on, man, give me something with a barcode on the back.
Yeah. I mean, they're like, same with sour balls. They're individually wrapped. In plastic. Like, I think it was a good call to leave the jelly fruit slices off. Those are really bad.
Anything that would be in a bulk candy bin doesn't feel like a Halloween candy to me, with the exception of the ones that are shaped like gross things, gross out candy for Halloween specific, like eyeball gummies and little brains and things like that. Love those.
A whole cow's tongue, but it's
a whole cow's
licorice.
Oh,
what about runts?
Witch's hair.
Runts
we've got on here.
Okay,
Runts
you have
is
Runts.
2-seed battling nerds.
Do we have? Oh, so we do have nerds. Okay, I think that's all I can think of right now.
All right, I have made one more replacement for you. I put in Jelly Bellies, and I eliminated Smarties. Because Smarties are not going to win. Smarties are eating chalk. I wonder how much of this is how much we're going to contradict ourselves from our British version of this. Because I know that the flavor wallop was a big part of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, just bringing that up apropos of nothing in the moment, but it might prove prescient for later in our conversation. Where do you want to go first, Hal? Northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest.
Can you just type this into the chat or something so I can see it? I feel like I'm
not going to lie, Hal. That's what it looks like.
Oh my goodness. When Mark is arrested for, I would assume, a series of ritual murders, they will find that bracket, and I don't even want to do the finger quotes because it's not worth it. They'll find that bracket on there. He left every single clue.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what the sketches look like.
Listen, Hal, I'll tell you what, this little book, this is my, we got this. I have a little DePaul notebook that I picked up the last time I was in Chicago. It's my We Got This notes for every episode that we have done, handwritten.
Wow.
I will, the next time we do like a trivia challenge or something, I will throw this on the list of prizes.
Okay,
because it is almost full.
The theory of everything.
A rare We Got This artifact, Hal. You too can have this soon to be police artifact.
I can't wait to turn that into merch.
In the meantime, I'm going to say just trust me because I don't have time to type all of these.
Let's start in the southeast.
All right. The southeast would be, here are our two matchups in the southeast.
Just do one
Sour
at a time.
Patch.
Let's do one.
Okay. We'll go with our first matchup. Sour Patch Kids versus Dots.
Recently, I had a filling break.
I had a feeling this was going to be a
next week on
story.
We Got This. I'm in a dentist mode. I have a bunch of dental work I'm having done. They're putting me under for it. I can't wait because it'll be done. And now I'm doing like this floss. I got a smart toothbrush with an app, of course, that tells me, like, it maps my teeth out while I'm brushing, going like more here, not as much here. Got a water pick, whole thing. But I was trying to. Does
it have glove hands on little Sproingers, like in a Goofy cartoon where he builds a machine?
Yeah, brushes your teeth for you.
Oh, I love this.
And when it misfires, I go woo.
It just shoots you out of your chair out the window somehow.
I'm trying to figure out what broke the filling, and part of it is like, was it pizza that I had? Because that could be the culprit. But I think it was some gummy candy, and if it had been Dots, for sure teeth would have been ripped out.
Yeah. Dots, if gummy candy is the mob, then Dots are the capo. You know what I mean? Hey, it's a nice set of teeth you got there. It'd be a shame if anything happened to them.
Yeah.
Like those Dots come in aggressively.
Yeah.
And I don't see any redemption to Dots candy for what you have to endure maxillofacially.
Right, because the other half of it is they don't taste that great. They're not, the juice is not
No.
worth the squeeze even a little bit.
Yeah. There are so many better ways to get fruit flavor into your mouth.
Yes, for how they taste, they should be pills that you just swallow with some water and get the fruit flavor that way. I love Sour Patch Kids. They're so
Hal,
good.
let me ask you this.
Yeah.
When Annie Savage and I went over there to record some sketches that Acker had written the other day, and the three of us sat down and recorded those sketches, what did Annie leave your home with when we were all finished?
What had once been a pillowcase-sized bag of of Sour Patch Kids is now like basically a normal pack of Sour Patch Kids left in there after I had my way with it for a couple weeks.
If all of the Sour Patch Kids in that bag were the people visiting Disneyland on any given day, the only ones that were left in there were the ones that got that extra free hour in the morning when it's just vast and vacant. And this small collection of Sour Patch Kids is looking around going, look at this cavernous space. We are the only ones in here.
Yeah, those Sour Patch Kids had breakfast reservations, so they got into the park a little early. Lucky
but
them.
they met those two cats from Pinocchio.
Yeah, isn't that what you're hoping? Oh, well, guess who I saw while I was having waffles? The two cats from Pinocchio. Can you name? Yeah, Figaro's one. Who's the other one? You don't know. Nobody does. That cat doesn't even answer to a name.
They used to send, who they used to send out? Ratigan, the bad guy from The Great Mouse Detective. And it was delightful. Could you imagine going to a character breakfast and you're like, I'm going to meet Mickey Mouse. And then instead of Mickey Mouse, you get Ratigan, what looks like Mickey Mouse if he drank a little of Dr. Jekyll's serum. Gideon is the other cat, says Ken Plume.
Of course, I'm surprised. Ken must have been like making a sandwich or something because he would have been with that right away. He didn't have to look it up. He's just like, oh, Gideon, you mean? Yeah. You mean Gideon? If you're the person in the Ratigan costume, and you see someone who's like, hey, it's Ratigan, is your first thought, because you're in for something? Because they recognize you right out, like they're the Great Mouse Detective fans.
Oh, yeah. The super fans come out for the Great Mouse Detective. Yeah. And they've like looked at the schedule and they somehow leaked it online when Ratigan's going to be in Storyteller's Cafe. So it's Sour Patch Kids.
Yes.
All right.
You agree, right?
I absolutely agree.
Okay.
Sour Patch Kids are delicious and wonderful treats, and they're tart and they make your mouth pucker and they're gummy and delightful. Dots are what evil dentists send out. Like the only person that's giving out dots is a sadistic dentist.
Or one that needs business.
We got a decision to make here.
Okay.
We got a decision to make because this battle is Haribo Gold Bears versus Twizzlers / Red Vines. Did we adjudicate this already? Twizzlers versus Red Vines?
Oh, it was one of our shortest episodes because Red Vines are garbage and we love Twizzlers.
Great. So it's Twizzlers versus Haribo Bears.
Did you know, Mark, as someone who's a lover of history and a lover of research, and I can do this with zero research, that the gummy bear, the first gummy candy, was created in the 1920s by a German man who founded the company Haribo, and the term for it, which escapes me right now, meant like gummy bear.
No, I didn't know that. I thought that Haribo was someone's name.
Haribo.
Gummy is someone's name.
Yes, it is. Gummy is someone's name. Oh,
Ken says it's Haribo. It's Haribo.
Yeah, could be. Haribo.
Haribo. I always called them Haribo bears when I was a kid. Yeah.
The Haribo bunch.
So let's go bears versus we'll say gummy bears for right now. Yeah. Gummy bears, or I will. Gummy bears versus Twizzlers. It's tough. Twizzlers come in one flavor. Gummy bears come in multiple flavors. One good flavor, yes. Yeah. I think though I like there being a proper, just classic gummy on here. I like a gummy bear.
Yeah.
Texture-wise, the Twizzler defeats the Red Vine easily. But texture-wise, I don't know if the Twizzler defeats the gummy bear.
Twizzler is good on its own. Like, I would take Twizzler almost over most red licorice that exists. I like it better. Gummy bears are a better choice because of the variety of flavors that come with every bag you buy. You have to work hard to get just pineapple or just cherry or just orange or just lemon or whatever flavor you fancy. And they're good. That makes them good. Either you can eat them in like sometimes I like them. Oh, I'll just have these. I'll have my favorite flavor last and I'll eat my way through. Other times you combine them and get new flavors, which is a Jelly Belly trick. But I think
being that small, you can mix two at once.
Yeah. So Haribo.
Yeah.
I bet I said
Haribo. Haribo. Gummy bears.
Haribo
bouncing here and there and everywhere. All right.
High adventures are beyond compare.
All right, we're going to go to a quick break.
Yep.
And then we're going to finish the East and then move West for that round of our bracket. How does that sound, Hal?
I love it. Sounds sweet.
Ooh. All right. We will be right back. What's up, people of the world? It's Mark
and Hal from We Got This with Mark and Hal,
the show that settles those pointless arguments that you and your friends have. Should you put ketchup on a hot dog or liquid foam or bar soap?
And our 500th episode of We Got This with Mark and Hal is available now. It is supersized and a ton of fun.
Yeah, we've got guests coming back from the entire 500 episode run of our show. Some of your favorite Max Fun stars, some of your favorite regular out in other places in the world stars too. Some really fun surprises, and every single one of them had a topic for us to cover.
You can listen to it right now on MaximumFun.org or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, sleepyheads. Sleeping with Celebrities is your podcast pillow pal. We talk to remarkable people about unremarkable topics, all to help you slow down your brain and drift off to sleep. For instance, the remarkable actor Alan Tudyk.
You hand somebody a yardstick after they've shopped at your general store. The store's name is constantly in your heart because yardsticks become part of the family.
Sleeping with Celebrities, hosted by me, John Moe, on MaximumFun.org or wherever you get your podcasts. Night-night.
All right, Hal. Let's move to the Northeast. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Your first battle in the Northeast. Laffy Taffy versus Airheads.
I would rather, and I have on many occasions, Laffy Taffy, they're essentially the same thing. They're like a pulled taffy.
Yes.
But
they're exactly the same thing, and one gives you jokes and one doesn't.
Right, but also one of them is like a piece of porcelain that you have to work into being taffy again. The other is soft in its packaging, and that's Airheads. They're better.
Yeah,
candy.
Airheads are
just better.
Yeah, maybe. Airheads, you do have to put a little work into a Laffy Taffy, warm it up in your hands a little. But is the softness of the Airhead worth the lack of joke? Because one of my favorite games is the Laffy Taffy game, where you flip over the label, you read the punchline, and then try to guess what the setup was.
Sure.
Which is one of my favorite, because they're all just little kid jokes, man. Just wholesome, clean little kid jokes, mostly puns. I think they're actually sent in by kids.
Probably.
Like Samantha, 8. Really? How she's going to lose just because your Airhead is a little softer?
Mark,
what do you think Samantha, 8 is going to say?
I don't think there is a Samantha, 8. I think it's like there's like a Tin Pan Alley of really old dudes who are sitting there cranking out these. This one's from Carolyn, age 4.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that Nick, 3 didn't write that Brezhnev joke?
No, Morty, 67 wrote it. Sorry to tell you.
You're breaking me right now, Hal. I do think Airheads, in addition to, it's tough. I like the flavor of most Airheads better, but I love a banana Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, but the banana flavoring's good, but I don't like any I don't want to have to warm up my candy. I'll put it that way. Like, I don't need my candy to be a car in the winter where I have to start it and then I'll come back in like 10, 15 minutes when the engine's warmed up.
10, 15 minutes? How long do you think you have to put it in your hands to get it? It was like 5 seconds.
I'm saying it for a car that you're warming up. I just don't want to be like, oh, all right, I think it's ready to eat. You know when it's ready to eat? When the package is open. That's when it should be ready to eat.
Well, you
wanna
leave
have
the
to do work.
package on when you warm it up. You don't take it out of the package and warm it in your hands.
I understand that, but I don't want to. I'm not rubbing. I'm not going to make wishes on a Laffy Taffy. I don't. The jokes are
then
fine.
that's your first mistake, my friend.
That's why I have nothing. I haven't wished on a Laffy Taffy yet. Darn it!
All right. You know what? I will go with Airheads on this one as well.
Yeah,
Because I do think they have better flavor. They are soft. The candy is superior, and it's best candy, not best packaging.
that's
I would
right.
say the Laffy Taffy probably has the best packaging, but that's not the candy.
Do these glasses I got, which I really like, do they make it look like I'm going to a Jim Beaver convention and I'm dressing up as him?
They're a little bit Jim Beaver. I think they're
They're
also
a
the
little
same
Jim Beaver.
glasses as the annoying kid on the Polar Express and also Malcolm X. So one good, one bad. Take
That's
whoever
true.
you want as your example.
I like it.
All right. This is the first one that we're going now to a battle of one that you replaced. You eliminated the Fruit Tootsie disrespectfully, I might add,
Garbage.
and inserted the Mike and Ike. Mike and Ike is battling against a tough one, the Starburst. This is a no contest for me, but I didn't even think of Mike and Ike's before, and I one-seeded Starburst against Fruit Tootsies.
I do love a Starburst.
Mm-hmm.
I very, very truly do. I also really love a Mike and Ike.
Does Mike and Ike's come in Halloween size? Do they have a Halloween size version?
They do.
Is it a box? I feel like I remember
They
it being
used
a
to
little box.
be little boxes. Now they're little packages. They're little
Little
packets.
package.
So yes, there is
I don't know.
a Halloween size.
I just
Airheads.
love Starburst. I love Starburst. I love the little wrappers. I love all the extra stuff you've got to do. I very much enjoy Starburst.
You like the little unwrap.
Yeah, I like the little.
The only problem I have with Starburst is first of all, I don't like their cherry. That's one, but that's just
Okay.
personal taste. Every other flavor, give me the orange, give me the lemon all day long.
Mhm.
Love it. Those are really the basic 3 flavors in a Starburst.
Well,
Orange, lemon,
there's
and cherry.
different.
I know there are there's like a tropical version, but
Mhm.
I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in a pina colada Starburst. Give me the basics. But it does annoy me.
Mhm.
I'm not saying there's a reason why it should lose. I'm just saying it to say it. It annoys me when I open the wrapper and part of it sticks.
Mhm.
And then I have to cause then you dig in with whatever fingernail you have and then you lose a little bit of the candy. I'm not eating the paper.
Well, you got to
You eat
flip
the
it
paper.
over, buddy. You don't dig it out from the side that it's in. Give it a reach around and pull the paper up from the other side, and it will pull out from whatever divot it's created on the part where you'd have to dig in.
That doesn't make sense in my brain. I don't understand
How?
what you're saying right now.
How? It's not about digging in where that fold is. You flip the first flap, right?
Yeah.
So you flip the first Starburst flap, and you're talking about it's the second flap where you got to dig in a little bit, right?
The flap's
No.
stuck. What do I do?
Go to the other side. The flap will be open, and you just flip the whole thing around. So the last part that's removed is the part that's underneath where the fingernail hook would be.
Okay. I'll try it.
Okay. So can we keep Starburst?
That's fine. I don't know when I'm going to have Starburst again. I feel like I will have Mike and Ike's before I have Starburst by choice. That's a personal
Interesting.
thing. This is a personal thing. I realize that Starburst is a wildly popular candy, and there's a reason why it would be a number 1 seed and something like this. I would put it like that too. I probably would have the Mike and Ike higher than a 4 seed personally, but
Well, that's because it was
this is what
replacing
happens
the
in
Fruit
tournaments.
Tootsie. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was replacing a garbage
It was a wild card.
off-brand Tootsie Roll.
All right. We're going now from the soft right to the hard left. And you want to go start in the north or the south, Hal?
Let's start in the south again.
Let's start in the south. Let's go with Spree versus Bottle Caps. What do you think about Spree and Bottle Caps? Are you familiar with both of these?
I've had Spree a lot. It's chalky.
Yeah.
I actually, the version of those that I really like are Shock Tarts. You ever had those?
Sure. I had Shock Tarts. Those
They
were
had a
like
jet on the
back in the 90s. They were like the super.
Yeah, that's right.
Basically, the difference between Bottle Caps and Spree seems to be Bottle Caps are the chalky tart.
Yeah.
And Spree are the chalky tart with a candy coating. That's the difference between these
I like
two.
a candy coating.
I like a candy coating too.
coating.
Yeah,
Gets in the
I gotta
way
go
of
with
the
the candy
fruit
coating.
flavor, but it's better.
Now, because this is in the hard category, there are a couple of soft ones in here because there were too many soft ones and not enough hard candies. But are we counting Chewy Spree in the mix? Because Chewy Spree, I mean, high school, that was my jam back in the day from the vending machine.
It's so good. Spree in general, the fact that they've got a good solid chalky version and a good chewy version speaks to, and I think you could ask two different people and they might have two different, like, for one person, their impression of Spree is that it is a chewy candy.
That was mine for the longest time. Right. I got the chalky version. I was disappointed because I loved the chewy version.
The chewy version's way better. But Spree isn't very good. And I know we've talked about some that are a little bit different from one another, but Spree feels like one that is sort of like the perfect, it's like the Shohei Ohtani of fruit candies, right?
Yeah.
Excellent pitcher, excellent hitter.
Yeah.
Does it both.
Exactly. It can do both. All right. So, next battle in the Southwest. This is your beloved jelly beans, but my beloved jelly bellies versus Skittles. Very similar. Both tiny and bite size.
Yeah.
Tiny and tiny size. I guess that's not bite size. It's way smaller than bite size.
Yeah.
One, I think, fewer flavors, but enough of a sugar and tartness and fake fruit flavor punch in Skittles. Yeah. It's just, they keep me coming back for more. They don't have jelly beans as a topping at Menchie's, but they have Skittles as a topping at Menchie's.
No, and
Jelly Belly, that says anything about their superiority, but
I have a problem with how Jelly Bellies is packaged by and large, because it's packaged in a way that you kind of have to pick some of them out. Like there's going to be ones you don't like in there that you're going to have to get rid of, as opposed to, and I get that with like a normal bag of, like when it's Easter time and I start buying those Brock's and whatever I can't remember the other brand that does it, but like this just basic
I wanted to say
beans.
Sturms, but that was our youth world that sold husky size uniform pants for prep school kids.
I bet they also
not
sold jelly beans. When I get a bag of Sturms, they had to stay in business. Here, do you want some jelly beans with those pants?
Great. Oh,
how about
looks like you're moving to the husky section.
Yeah. Hey, free milkshakes this Saturday. Come on down. They're each a gallon. You can go swimming in our milkshake pool and you can drink out of it.
How good does that sound?
Oh my God, a milkshake pool. I wouldn't want to eat it because a bunch of bodies, like everybody's junk is in it, but I do love the idea. You wouldn't even, if you got into a hot tub filled with milkshake and it was a clean hot tub and they put a bunch of milkshake in and then you got in, just you.
Yeah.
Would you feel 100% comfortable drinking that milkshake hot tub?
Not out of a hot tub, out of a cold tub, sure.
Oh, so if it's a clawfoot tub, galvanized
clawfoot tub full of milkshake, is it my patented Thin Mint milkshake? It's almost the season, Hal. Okay, then I absolutely would.
It's always season. All right. Okay.
Would you drink the milkshake that you were sitting in a pool of?
No. What I would do though is I would sit on the edge like an explorer in like an adventure film and cup it into my mouth. Like I was at the banks of a clear, pure stream. We're assuming the container is clean and nobody's been in there with their bits.
Yeah, the problem though, Hal, is if you're over there lapping it up from the edge like an antelope, one of those milkshake gators is going to leap out of the water and drag you in.
That's why I always shine for them first. I always put a flashlight on the surface. I can see their eyes.
Oh, that's smart. That's smart.
Yeah.
All right.
I would go with Skittles here, even though this is fruit in its loosest interpretation.
Yeah. Hey, man, what flavor is this? Rainbow. That's the flavor it is.
Yeah. Red.
Yeah. Taste the rainbow. Is this one supposed to be orange? Taste the rainbow.
Honey, is everything okay? You've hardly eaten your purple.
Oh, I don't like purple. Purple's my least favorite rainbow.
We work very hard to put purple on the table for you. You eat that purple.
I know. Here we go. Do you think that purple grows on trees?
That's right. It grows on vines because it comes from grapes. That is a natural. Now eat your salad.
Wait, purple is a flavor?
In theory. And there are green grapes too, so you can eat those.
This tastes like a lime.
Purple or dark blue.
Oops. What'd she say?
Including a cotton candy flavor. This is from health.com.
Why is health.com giving us
Wait, we're in the middle of recording an episode about candy and health.com just appeared on your Siri?
I don't know how I activated her, but she just started prattling on about grape flavor and like cotton candy, candies, diabetics. This is from health.com, but like none of it was a warning. It was just like, oh hey, you want to know where you can get good grape flavoring?
All right.
Go to health.com. We swear it's not a candy shop online. Health.com. Where are you go? What website are you on, young man? Health.com.
Health.com. You get off of that website right now. They sell dots on that website.
Mouth wreckers.
All right. We have one more battle left. And that is, I think we have one more battle left. No. Okay. Do we have one more battle left?
Maybe. Oh, wait a minute. Are you having trouble interpreting the Rosetta Stone of candy that you put on those 2 pieces of paper?
Yes. Okay, here. Oh, yeah. No, I see what we got left. We have one bracket left, and it's the Northwest.
Okay.
So we'll go a little faster because we do have the second and third rounds of this to go through. But this is always where we really dive into the individual candies. So we don't want to give them short shrift.
That's right.
Do you want the 1-4 or do you want the 2-3?
2-3.
All right. The 2-3 is runts versus nerds.
Nerds.
Nerds over runts?
Yeah.
Why?
Because runts are like a worse version of Spree. They're just in fun shapes.
Yeah, but the banana one's so good.
Yeah, but you can get that banana flavor from a ton of different. You
can't get runts banana flavor from a banana or anything else in nature or science. The only place you can get Laffy Taffy banana flavor is, I would argue, the superior banana flavor. But Runts banana flavor, it is aggressive and wrong. Yeah. But it does not care that it is wrong. It is proudly raising its hand and saying, I am banana.
You like that it's living its life out loud.
Yes, I like that it's living its life out loud.
But
nerds all taste the same to me.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Well, you have to eat so many. You could eat one runt.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to eat one runt, but you could and be like, I just had a piece of candy. If you ate a single nerd, you might for a second think that you got a piece of gravel off of your sweater.
Yeah, delicious gravel.
Like, I don't know what this is. This could be anything. This could be one piece of like a oops all berries that broke off. Mm-hmm. It can be a number of different things. You must eat multiple nerds. You must. That's the rule.
Hal, it alarms me that your default when looking down at your shirt and thinking, I don't know what this is just to eat it. Are you a baby?
In ways, this keeps me young.
You know what? Then I got no problem with it.
Thank you.
I got to go to a tower and brush hair to stay young. So we're going nerds over runts.
Yeah.
The banana flavor.
No, runts. Runts over nerds.
We are going runts over nerds.
Yeah, because you have to eat a bunch of nerds. There's a singular nerd is like, and also that, they're not, I mean, look, they're not that great, but I just think they had a moment that runts never really got. Nerds were like a really hot candy in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
That was a big deal. The kid who had nerds and would share some of them and be like, oh, what 2 flavors are in your box? They're very well marketed candy, but ultimately
banana.
I'll take runts, the runts banana.
Yeah. All right. And our final, it's the 1-4 seed in this particular quadrant, and that is Jolly Ranchers versus Swedish Fish. Again, it's one flavor versus multiple flavors. It is a version of soft that we haven't really seen yet.
Yeah.
Versus the apex hard candy, I would say. I would call Jolly Ranchers the apex hard candy.
It is good. I think you have a sensation in your mouth after you have a Jolly Rancher, after it's dissolved, that is not pleasant.
Interesting. Depending on the flavor, I would agree.
The consumption of it is pleasant. The flavor of it is good while you're having it. And then afterwards, it's like, ugh. There's a lot of hard edges in this thing. And also, to be fair, Swedish Fish, while that red cherry is sort of the standard flavor, there is a variety that they come in that is orange, that is like lime, lemon.
Oh, I don't know the others.
And cherry. Very, very good. And
I think
it's easy to find. It's not rare.
How far down do you let a Jolly Rancher get before you start chewing? To the blade? Do you let it get to blade form?
Yes, blade form. And even then, what I like to do is I act like I'm a glass blower and I like curl it
Yeah.
Because you can start manipulating it, and that's fun. But also, you're going through, like, Captain Crunch is a real fun cereal. But it ruins the roof of your mouth for a period of time.
Yeah.
And there's a weird powdery, like, residue. There's like a weird aftertaste to it that's not great either. So is it ultimately worth it? I don't know. That's up to the individual. I think Jolly Rancher is like all hard, sharp edges all the time. Like they haven't figured out in all this time that you could make, like, the thing that's cool about Jolly Rancher is not that it has a sharp pocket in the side from however you cut those long bars of candy that I assume they do. I think tonight I might watch 8 million episodes of Unwrapped. Thank you for
Unwrapped is so fun.
The best show. Oh my gosh. Could watch it forever. I think that the unpleasantness around the Jolly Rancher experience supersedes the flavor of it. And I would pick Swedish Fish personally for that reason. I think it is a better all-around candy.
I have no problem taking Swedish Fish over Jolly Ranchers. I enjoy Swedish Fish. I like a soft fruit candy over a hard fruit candy. Even though Jolly Ranchers are the apex fruit candy, look, sometimes it works against you when you're a wild card that gets thrown into the tournament. Sometimes it works in your favor. If you're a soft candy that gets thrown into the hard candy category, you can come in and clean up. So we got to go with Swedish Fish on this one. Yeah.
Cinderella story. It's beautiful.
It is a Cinderella story. 4 seed defeats a 1 seed. We broke a lot of brackets. Busted a lot of brackets on that one, Hal. So here are the matchups as they stand now. We've got in the West, in the South, Skittles versus Spree. In the North, Runts versus Swedish Fish. We've got in the East, in the South, Gummy Bears versus Sour Patch Kids. And in the North, Starburst versus Airheads. Do you want to stay in the West or move back to the East for a little while?
Stay in the West. Let's finish it up.
Stay in the West. All right. Run.
You want
Let's
to do
go
all of the West and then all of the East?
We'll do all the West and all the East.
All right.
And then we'll be able to talk more fully about the finals. I think this is going to be fast. All right. Okay. In the Southwest, we've got Skittles versus Spree.
Skittles, right?
Skittles 100%.
Yeah.
All right. Skittles versus Spree. Skittles wins. In the Northwest, we've got Runts versus Swedish Fish.
I would go with Swedish Fish again, personally.
I think I got to go with Swedish Fish, too. I like, just personally, I like softer candy. And plus, you're learning about other cultures. Swedish Fish it is. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
And about our seas, our marine biology.
Exactly. We're learning all about aquatic life. All right. In the Southeast, we've got Sour Patch Kids versus Gummy Bears. Come on. You had a great big bag of them.
Sour Patch Kids by
100%. It's
like Gummy Bears crawled so that Sour Patch Kids could travel from outer space to visit us.
Ooh, they did. And finally, the Northeast, Starburst versus Airheads. Tougher. I think. Do you want to do a count to 3 and see where we each are?
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Starburst. Okay.
All right. Easy.
All right. So our final 4 blew right through that round. Our final 4 in the West, Skittles versus Swedish Fish. And in the East, Starburst versus Sour Patch Kids. Hal, which battle are we raging first?
The second one.
Starburst versus Sour Patch Kids. I feel like this might be where Hal finally brings the axe down on the double wrapped Starburst.
I think that Sour Patch Kids are a superior candy. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Their Halloween version that's grape and orange. Get out of town. It's so good. I got to find now. The next time you come over, there's going to be a flour sack sized bag of those. If I can find them. The only thing I don't like about that is they put them in individually because they assume you're just going to give them out for Halloween and not like me. You're going to use it as a method of making sure you drink the most water humanly possible in a day. Like that's what I tell my head. I'm like, well, I have the calories for it. No problem there. But
this is just so I drink. You're eating them so you drink water because you need to drink more water.
I could make 24 Sour Patch Kids last for 80 fluid ounces of water easily. That is 2 of these giant Stanley Cups.
Well, there's only one Stanley Cup, my friend, and the greatest hockey team in the continent gets to hoist it.
Yeah. Let's go Flyers.
All right. So we're going Sour Patch Kids. We have we've still got our battle in the East, and it's Swedish Fish versus Skittles. Swedish Fish. This is when you're leaving the competition because Skittles, Skittles have to be in the finals. Yes, they are rainbow flavored, but you know what? Sour Patch is not a real place to get produce anyway either, is it?
Fair enough.
So we're eliminating the Swedish Fish, and our final battle, Hal, Skittles versus Sour Patch Kids. Let me throw something out there that is a primary difference between the Skittle and the Sour Patch Kid. A Skittle, I can't relate to a Skittle. Skittle's a little round ball of fruit flavor, sugar,
Mystery.
with a little candy coating on the outside. Sour Patch Kid has arms and legs and a head and a smile and a heart.
We assume they have a smile. We don't know
they are aliens.
In alien cultures what that face means.
Sure, but they're kids. And you know what? Regardless, galactically, I think it is universal, literally universal, that kids smile.
I don't know. When that xenomorph smiles in the alien movies, you're like,
okay, Hal, you're really making this more difficult now to want to pick the Sour Patch Kids. I'm trying to relate to another being, alien kid or not, Hal.
Are you relating to them when you take a handful of alien children and shove them in your mouth and devour them?
Well, now you're making me feel guilty if I pick them. It's like the giant saying Jack would have been the most delicious meal. Like, I mean, thank you.
Well, what if those are the Independence Day aliens? And by devouring them, you're saving the planet.
So I relate to them at first, and then I realize what monsters they are.
Yeah.
And then I want to fight them. You basically just described Avatar and Dances with Wolves in reverse.
Right. Or Enemy Mine in reverse, where you're like, oh, I think this is my friend and I'm going to raise their child. And then it goes to, oh, wait, we're at war with them. I must devour these small aliens.
Yeah.
People of the world, listen to this. We just created an entire canon world, canon for you as well. This is the official story of Sour Patch Kids, around a candy. You can create your own reality with these little candy goblins from space. I don't know what aliens they were basing them on. Like, I know we had a general blueprint for what Alien is in the late 60s, early 70s when these were created. For some reason, they were like, these should look like Mr. Bill and Bart Simpson had a child before either of them existed. And that's what we got. But they're delicious. The watermelon slices are great. The Halloween mix is not to be missed. And of all of the fruity candies, it's the one that starts out with like a salty, bitter flavor. Sour Patch Kids is the best fruit candy. Surprise, asked and answered. Happy Halloween.
Oh, happy Halloween, Sour Patch Kids. Where is the Sour Patch? Is that a planet or is it a place on a planet?
It is a place on a planet as the base that they launch from. They're in like an Ender's Game where they're trained to be warriors. I think that's what Ender's Game's about. Like they're trained to be like fighter pilots and they're kids. Yeah. Don't tell me what it is. I don't care. But I imagine that's what it is. Or like the last Starfighter, they have an arcade machine on that planet and all of the little alien kids that are good at it get conscripted into coming to our planet and being just devoured. See all the stories we're creating? It's
wow.
The best
just
candy.
Out of the Sour Patch Kids.
So
the Sour Patch Kids, you know what? Reach out to us and tell us your own stories of the Sour Patch Kids. Let's get I would like a whole canon to happen for the lives and times of these tiny alien Ender's Game, delicious fruit flavored treat sour children.
Yeah.
This topic is also closed, but there are many more topics to discuss. So please reach out to us via email at wegotThisPodcast@gmail.com or
visit us on all of our spooky socials. We are at We Got This Podcast on there, except for Instagram, where we are at We Got This Show. And of course, our Facebook group is where you'll see all of these wonderful Sour Patch Kids stories being told, I would assume. Facebook.com/groups/We Got This Podcast. Thank you to producer Ken Plume. You're out of this world. Researcher Kate McManus, graphic designer Uri Kilman, and QA engineer Jen Alba.
And thanks, of course, to our musicians, Jonathan Dinerstein and Mike Furman, for our score and theme song, respectively. And thanks to you, the people of the world, the delightful, brilliant, kind, argumentative, crowd of wonderful Halloween and other holiday and pop culture enthusiasts with whom we are going to gather in our costumes and go door to door. And if they hand us anything but Sour Patch Kids, we are going to toilet paper every house in this virtual neighborhood. And then we're all going to have a great big hug and a laugh because you're the reason we do the show. We wouldn't do it without you. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you for giving us this opportunity every week. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. For Hal Lublin, I'm Mark Gagliardi.
For Mark Gagliardi, I'm Hal Lublin. And don't worry, everybody.
We got this.
We got this.
Maximum Fun,
a worker-owned network
of artist-owned shows
supported
directly
by you.